Hello, this is Brian. Today is Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, and I'm right next to Big Rock Park here in Santee. This is one of the Big Rock trailheads. Right here on Mesa Rd, there's another trailhead at Big Rock Road proper. So I'm just kind of checking out this little area. This is where I started my first time trying to hike up to Coles Mountain. I ended up not finding the way to get there, so I ended up going back and walking along Mesa Road to the Mesa Trailhead. But now, that was when it was dark out. Now it's broad daylight. So I'm just going to walk around here and see what kind of interesting little tidbits are here. So I remember climbing up this hill, going up this hill, I think from another side. I think there was an old ruin or something up here. So I'm just gonna kind of explore and see what's over here. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit of exploration. I think that's Big Rock Road over there, at the end of it. Let's climb up this little hill. Some huge agave Americanas up here. Just curious. I only got a quick shot of this one time I was here, and it was still pretty dark out. Top of this little hill here. Yeah, I remember this old foundation here. I wonder if this used to be a house or something. It's a cool little hill. Get a good view of Coles Mountain from here. And this is the Coles Mountain region of Mission Trails over here. Really cool. We got some nice laurel sumacs here. Melosma laurina starting to develop their flower buds. Some of these this summer. I'll probably end up doing another ode video to this plant. This is a plant I really can't get enough of. So this is a cool little hill here. A lot of cool coastal sage scrub action going on here, but then we also got these agaves here. The non-native agave Americana. This is agave Americana. Ooh. I think it's some type of a finch. Right in the bushes. But yeah. Look at these huge inflorescence stalks that turn into these big seed capsules. And dark black seeds. Oh, we got a good view to Iron Mountain over there in the Powell area. Very good view of Iron Mountain. Yeah, this is a huge clump. These things get massive. Much bigger than any of our native agaves here in Southern California. Like agave deserti, variety deserti, and agave deserti, variety simplex. Those are two types of desert agave we have here in Southern California. And then agave Shai, variety Shai, much smaller than these. As you can see, just like with all agaves, the rosette. So these things are divided in a bunch of rosettes, and this one's a clumping rosette here, because each rosette that flowers and sets seed eventually dies. So the fact that this one's a clumper means the plant itself, the whole the plant as a whole is still alive. It's just the individual rosettes. So eventually, this rosette here eventually will flower, send a giant 20-foot plus inflorescence stalk, and flower, maybe set seed if it's pollinated properly, or it'll put little bulbils, which are miniature plants that'll fall off. This one apparently gets pollinated because I see seed capsules instead of bulbils. But plants that aren't pollinated might form little bulbils, which are miniature plants where the fruit would normally go. So that's pretty interesting. Another cool thing is that just how big these get. It's crazy how big these American agaves get. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to go shoot a couple pictures of it, and I want to talk a little bit more about it before I move on and poke around a little bit more. So I was mentioning, the individual rosettes are monocarpic. They flower, fruit once, and then die off. So if it's a clump, if it's a type that forms a clump, the other ones that haven't flowered yet will continue the plant. Now, there's been some taxonomical debate as to what family agaves belong to. They've been in various families, including, I believe, the lily family. I think was one of the earlier families they were placed in, the Liliaceae. And then they were placed in their own family, the Agavaceae. So they were made into their own family, along with yuccas, chaparral yuccas, and several other types of plants. Nowadays, a lot of botanists put these in the asparagus family, the Asparagaceae. I guess it can't be 100% crazy to think that, because if you ever seen when these are first forming, they look like humongous asparagus tips. They look like humongous asparagus stalks. They really do when they first start. And you can kind of see the pattern lower down. Very asparagus-like. So maybe that isn't surprising, but maybe it's more based on DNA, hopefully. I would say DNA evidence, probably. Because plants like animals can have convergent evolution. They can develop similar characteristics as well. Plants that are not even related can do so. So yeah, just a little bit of information. And being included in the Asparagaceae also includes yuccas, and even potentially other plants that were branched off into separate families later on. So, just a little something I figured I would share about the confusing placement of those bad boys right there, and all the native bad boys that grow here as well. So, I'm looking for the high point of this hill, and along the way, we got some more of this. Got some beautiful Scrophularia californica, California figwort. I did a spotlight video earlier this morning in a nearby location, but this little use trail just continues. So yeah, there's like a pretty solid population of Scrophularia californica growing along this little miniature ridge line. And when I say miniature, I mean miniature. This is a small hill, but it's pretty cool. A bunch of little use trails, which are also connected down to the main double track that'll lead off towards Big Rock Trail. So while I'm here, may as well just explore this little area, this little hill, which is a pretty neat little hillside here. Why not? It's here. Ooh, soap plants. Yeah, it's when these plants. This is a species of Chlorogalum. I'm not sure if it's Chlorogalum pomeridianum, subspecies pomeridianum, or there's another species of Chlorogalum I can't think of right now. Can't tell them apart yet. I have very limited experience with that plant, but type of soap plant. And I think that was also listed as being in the agave family, so it might be now in the Asparagaceae, perhaps. But here's more of that California figwort, or California bee plant. Beautiful Scrophularia californica with those little red, kind of urn-shaped flowers. So near the top of this little rise here, then we got some nice thickets of Malosma laurina, laurel sumac, even more of the Scrophularia plant, and then also some snapdragon, wild snapdragons. And I'm pretty sure this is the Nuttall snapdragon, Antirrhinum nuttalianum. Seeing a little bit of that today as well. When I did a short hike, it originally was going to be a peak climb, but it didn't happen that way. There's this nice little population of the figwort plant growing here. Very nice, very handsome plant. It's a perennial, but it dies back to the root every dry season, or in higher elevations where this grows higher up, it dies back to the root during the colder months, and then the root will send up new leaves in the spring. But yeah, this is a really cool little spot here. And of course, not surprising, San Diego County, lots of broom baccharis here, Baccharis saurothroides. Lots of this plant, very common in this area. I'm just taking some time to explore this little hill here. And of course, spiny redberry, Rhamnus crocea. I don't see any berries on it though. I don't see any fruits. Actually, I think the fruits are technically seed capsules with a fleshy pericarp. In other words, a fleshy appendage that surrounds it. But I don't think it's a true berry. They have these red berry-like fruits that are translucent. You can see through them. But yeah, here's more of that chlorogallum here. Again, I'm not sure if this is wavy leaf, Chlorogallum pomeridianum, or the other species. I think it's part of a florum or something like that. I think it's the other species. I'm gonna head back to this use trail here. And what kind of buckwheat are we looking at here? I'm trying to see. I think this is foothill buckwheat. Pretty sure this is Eriogonum fasciculatum variety foliolacum. The foothill buckwheat, because the leaf edges are very tightly, look like they're quite tightly curled under, and that would be one of the indications that this is variety or subspecies foliolacum, as opposed to variety or subspecies fasciculatum. So this appears to be foothill California buckwheat. Yeah, these are quite tightly curled under. So, okay, I think I got my answer there. Sprinkles. There is a trail down there, somewhere down there. Might head towards that. There's North Fortuna right there. Got this summer annual plants right here. It's Croton centigaris. Alright, well, let's see what happens. We'll keep hiking down. Alright, so I'm working my way down. I just had to take some time and record a spotlight video on this guy here, leafy California buckwheat. I had to do a spotlight video, so I took my time doing that. Now I'm going to head down towards where the trail is. branch off this way to head towards Big Rock Park or deeper into Mission Trails over this way. What is this, a baby sycamore tree right here? Let's see. Doesn't look too healthy though. There's a little California sycamore right here. Oh, it's getting new. No. Nah, I think this might be a hybrid. It almost looks like a hybrid between California sycamore and London plane tree. Interesting. All right. Right there. I want to go over here. I think that's another sycamore. Oh, look what we got here. Salix laevigata. Beautiful red willow right here. Right here in this little drainage ditch right down here. Probably some underground water here. This is a pretty nice size one, or a nice shaped one. Well, actually, hey, this might actually be part of that. Let's see what else I find. Gonna kind of explore this a little bit. So up there on that small mound, kind of appreciating the view up there and some local plants. There's an arroyo willow right here. No. This is another something kind of intermediate about this one. Yeah, this appears to be another good old red willow. It's got the pointy buds. So it almost looks intermediate. Gotta stop myself. I almost call this an arroyo willow. This one looks almost intermediate between arroyo willow and the other species, the Salix laevigata. Interesting. Very interesting. Speaking of willows, here's the unmistakable Salix goodingi, full of seeds. These are the seeds. And if you think these look familiar because you've seen them on those big cottonwood trees, these are related. Willows and cottonwoods are related. They are in the Salicaceae. So you get these cottony seed tufts with little tiny speckled seeds inside. They have very short-term viability. So if you're ever in an area where you can collect willow seeds, you want to collect them as soon as they're coming out so you can get them in the dirt and start them growing. But yeah, you can see the seed capsules here on this black willow here. Very handsome little tree. Yeah, there must be a seasonal water course here. It's obviously dry right now. This must be the trailhead in from Big Rock Road. But here we got a nice little California sycamore right here, Platanus racemosa. No big surprise there. Common native tree here, obviously. And then we have a non-native tree right here. This is a young one. I don't think I've ever been this close to a young one of these before. This is Grevillea robusta, an Australian native called silk oak, and the Proteaceae. I don't think I've ever been next to one this young before. I've been next to some pretty big ones. Never seen a young one like this before up close. There's the adult form right there, which I'll go visit momentarily. This is a sapling right here. This is a whole leaf I have in my hand right here. It's pinnately compound, so these are all leaflets. And as I mentioned, it was in the Proteaceae. It's not an oak. It's not related to the oaks. So, here's an adult right here. And those golden yellow flowers should be a clue that this is definitely not an oak tree. Yep, it's a member of the Proteaceae, silk oak, and these trees can get much larger than this. I've seen them here in Southern California get up to about 100 feet tall. They can get very large. These are not small trees. You gotta have room to grow these. They do very well in our climate though. Let's put it that way. Do very well in our climate. Very nice looking tree. But like I said, they can get much larger than that. And I've seen it. Usually mid-spring, they're sending up those really cool yellow flowers that are very attractive. There are a couple of young ones around here too. There's another young one in the thickets right there. Okay, let's keep walking along and see what else we got. So I'm working my way back. Thought I heard a bunch of coyotes yapping in the hills. Now I hear dogs barking. The coyotes probably got them all stirred up. Little baby coast live oak planted here. Beautiful little guy. Yeah, probably won't pick up on camera. It's pretty faint. First I thought it was a bunch of people screaming, like playing, like messing around or something. Like, you know, some people go, yay! I think those are coyotes yapping off in the hills. So what do we have down here? Here's a plant you're going to find a lot here. This is not a plant that is rare at all. It's this bamboo looking thing here. It kind of looks like sugar cane or bamboo. And it's related because it's in the grass family, Poaceae. This is called giant reed. It's a monster-sized grass that can get over 20 feet tall. And it's a member of the, well, the grass family, the Poaceae. What a surprise. This is not native. This plant takes a lot of water out of the ecosystem. You'll see it growing along rivers, streams, creeks, ponds, and even urban waterways. This plant is really hard to take out, because if any piece of this plant's left, it will regrow. But this is called giant reed, Arundodonax. Very large bamboo or sugarcane looking plant in the Poaceae. And here's more of it here. This is probably from the same root system that produced this monster thicket. This is what it looks like when it's coming up. It looks a lot like sugarcane. Again, it's related to the grass family, which also means it's also related to corn. All right. Little finch. And then this is native. This is ragweed here, western ragweed, Ambrosia silostachia. It's got a bunch of other stuff growing here too. Let's take a look. Why not? Let's just enjoy, savor. Here's a native tree. Occasionally find in this area, but usually a little bit more towards the foothills. This is our beautiful Quercus engelmanni, Engelmann oak. And it's got new leaves coming out on it. Beautiful, handsome young tree that I hope gets big one day. So here's more of this giant reed plant here. Again, it'd be a very widespread plant. It's very large and it forms nearly impenetrable thickets. Wildlife doesn't seem to be too crazy about this plant either. So, fortunately, it's not a wildlife plant. Here's another non-native that gets established occasionally. This is the edible fig. This is probably just Ficus carica, but there's another one called Ficus pseudocarica, but I believe this is just the regular one. So this is Ficus carica. It's the most likely species this is. Got a little water down here. A lot of algae. So I wonder if this is a tadpole spot for Baja chorus frogs. Very interesting. That'd be kind of cool. All right. And another plant that finds itself naturalizing here, chamelash, Fraxinus udi, from trees planted many years ago as ornamentals here in SoCal. They like to take over. And of course, Washingtonia robusta. A lot of those popping up here and there too. So this is a very interesting interface of native and non-native plants. So there's a little bit of water in there, but a lot of that water gets taken off, gets siphoned by that giant reed plant. But still enough here for a Gooding's black willow. Very handsome, smaller specimen here. And a much larger Gooding's willow right here too. This is another Gooding's black willow. This is a big one. Very nice size one here. And so again, some more beautiful Mexican fan palms. Pretty cool little place to explore. Of course, the non-native sea fig, which is usually a little more common closer to the coast. Ooh! Ooh, a hawk with prey. The hawk was carrying like a little rodent. Whoa, that was a surprise little sight. Those hawks get down and dirty. They don't care. They'll just dip in wherever they can. It looked like it had a mouse or something. Whew. Okay, there's the arroyo willow. And here's the sea fig plant, or Hottentot fig they call it. And it's not a true fig, of course. It's a member of the Isoaceae. This is Carpobrotus edulis. It has the three-sided shaped fleshy leaves. So yeah, sorry for that momentary glitch. Had to feed a new memory card in. So yeah, Carpobrotus edulis, sea fig. Oh, yeah, admiring this Gooding's black willow. It's got a lot of mistletoe in it too. It's got a lot of mistletoe clumps. And it's got a pretty decent trunk base on it. This is a pretty decent sized willow tree. But I smell a skunk in here. There must be a skunk poking around here somewhere. But yeah, shortly before my memory ran out, I was pointing out this plant here. That hawk definitely blindsided me. That was crazy. It had a small rodent in its claws. It just came out of here in the bushes, literally. Boom! Must have caught at least a quick glimpse of it. I'm not sure what species it was. I didn't get a good look at it, but whew, pretty interesting. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and shut down for a little bit, and then once I'm away from all those people, I'll pick up again. Alright, so I'm back near the road where I'm parked, not that far from where I'm parked right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end this video off. Not before I admire some of these many broom baccharis plants here. Baccharis erythroides. Ooh! Just caught a sight of a cottontail. Of course, didn't get it on camera. There's a little cottontail in there. Not gonna bother it though. So yeah, this is the Big Rock Trail right here. So if you ever want to hike, Mission Trails to Coles Mountain, this is one of your spots right here. Very beautiful here. Very, very beautiful trail. Big Rock Trail and the Mason Trail, they're both really beautiful trails. Actually some of the best ways to climb up Coles Mountain in my opinion. But this is basically going to do it for me today. Thanks for watching my video, and hope you got some entertainment out of it. Hopefully I was able to drop a little interesting knowledge on you. But this is going to do it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next episode.